We've been married 18 years, and we balance each other out, and it's good for our kids because they see two different ways of doing things, completely different ways of doing things.
She's a real good mom. She sees what they need, she sees how to give it to them, and also she sees how to just have joy with them in their lives. There's a song called True Companion. And I was so taken by the song that we used it as the wedding march. Well, the last verse of the song, which we cut off before the ceremony started, was, "And when life has done irreparable harm," and about two old people walking through the final days. And I hadn't even thought about that until I heard the song recently the other day. I said, we're not really going to do that. You know, we're not going to walk through the final days together because one of us is going out far too soon.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer 3 years ago, and then I was diagnosed stage 4 18 months ago. I know my cancer's terminal, but you can be optimistic with that. You know, I've handled it with humor, and Matt even made a joke about death the other day that I thought, oh yeah, he gets it. It's, you know, part of life, and it's okay to talk about. Chris doesn't talk about it as much, but you know, I bring it up. It's not a secret in our family.
When I started dating my girlfriend Alex, I would joke all the time that Alex was pregnant. And I would get this huge reaction out of Mom all the time, and it was never positive. She was always mad at me.
Well, I raised my older boy to wait for marriage before babies, but you know, forget that. I just go ahead. I mean, forget what I taught you. Make the babies. I'd done the research, and most people survive a stage 2 cancer diagnosis, and I had no reason to believe that I wasn't going to be one of them. So everything that I did when I talked to my family was along those lines. Yes, I have cancer and I have to have treatment, but I will be fine. And it never occurred to me that I would end up being one of the 30% who moves on to stage 4. I understand that it's going to happen, and I don't want it to happen. If I could do anything to stop it, I would. But I can't. I'm doing everything I can. I had half my liver removed. I'm doing all the chemos. I'm doing everything they tell me. But I understand the diagnosis. And what typically happens is you do a chemo or a treatment, and it works for a short period of time, and then it stops working. And you do another one, and it works, and then it stops working, and eventually they all stop working. And I think my family thinks that one of them is going to work for years, and that isn't the way it works. Maybe I just want to keep the cancer at bay for as long as I can. I don't want this to affect my family until it has to affect them. And I want them to live their lives not with cancer, you know, if that makes sense. We're starting to look at colleges for Matt, and it's really hard for me to do those things, but I'm still going to do them because, you know, I want him to have that normal experience. Someday his life won't be normal, but I'm going to push that away as long as I can.
The graduation is the big keystone. I'm, of course, a little scared that you know, something bad will happen up until then, but currently that's my big repressor. That's what's keeping me from, you know, breaking down all the time, is because she's gonna make it to the graduation, and that's, you know, only a year and a half away.
Anne is not at a position in her life to quit trying to live longer. And so she wants every minute she can get. She wants every treatment option she can find. Because to her, living another 2 or 3 years is important. Living another 6 would be even better.
You know, I would really love to see my older son be a father. More than even having a grandbaby, I just want to see him be a father. And I know he's going to be a fantastic father. And I wish I could be there to see that. And, you know, my younger son, I know that he's going to do something great with school and get a graduate degree or something. And I would love to see him walk across that stage with that accomplishment. And, you know, it's sad to think I won't be there, but I know they're going to do it. I have faith in them, so.
And I don't know whether I've even said this very often. I love the perspective she brings to things. It makes me grow as a human being, understanding things from her perspective. And I don't think I say that nearly often enough either, is the positive influence she has on my life.
I take the time to see everything now that I didn't before. I mean, just the beauty, the trees turning, birds, nature, my son's smile, how beautiful he is, you know, my husband's smile. I mean, I just take a lot of time to notice those things. And that is the trick to surviving this diagnosis, is living in the moment. If you can't do that, then you're just a mess.
Life after death is not the issue. It's living life well up to that point. I tell her how pretty she is now more than I used to. It's still true. She's a beautiful woman.
Most people live with blinders on, and they're so caught up in all the little things that distract you from what really matters. And all that stuff is kind of washed away, and you know, your life gets clean, and you see what really counts, and it's the people you love.
Although I'm sure that in my actions she can read it, in my behavior she can read it, but I don't think I tell her enough that I love her.
Yeah, I definitely don't tell her enough.
Yeah.
I need to rethink that.
I'll always remember.
Yep, I will never forget.
My children are my legacy. I have raised 2 good boys, and they're gonna either do good things in the world, or they're going to be loving fathers and raise good children, and you know, just be good people, and that's my legacy. I'm very happy with my children. I'm happy for every single day I'm here.